Well, I've spent about, it took me an hour to get it in here. I've had an hour chipping half an inch of clay and soil off. Give it a good wire brushing off, all the fixing heads and any exposed threaded sections, and just soaking it with oil now, WD-40 actually, with a view to start disassembling it. When it was delivered over a year ago, the wheels did turn, but I can't get them to turn at the moment. It's been stood with axle outside for a year, so I think it just wants freeing off. There's a bit of play on the diff, but I think by the sound of it, that's all in the drive hubs up this end, which is what I found on the rear. I haven't lifted the rear up here because it's heavier than this one, and this one already nearly killed me. Anyway, I've got the drive-through shed option. Got a bench set up, so yeah, just wanted to get going on a bit today. Taking it easy because I don't want to rip myself apart. There we go. Well, I got the first drum off. Well, I got both drums off. The weren't too bad. I can't feel much of a rim. It's probably disguised with the rust, but they don't seem too bad then. The shoes have got plenty of meat on, but they need a good cleaning off. No idea what condition that's in. The thing is, I can't tell whether it's leaking or whether out, so it's all going to come off and get stripped out, find out where we're at. I've got to take the hubs off next. Just work my way back through each side. There's no discernible ridge, which suggests to me they haven't been worn much. Yeah, for some reason I managed to park it right up close to this end and give myself 4 foot the other end. Anyway, shuffle it around when it's a bit lighter. That's all the oil that's drained out. That's less than a tablespoon's worth. Which is slightly worrying. Anyways, we shall have a look, see what we can find out. There's no metal in it though. Well, I've got basically split the axle casing and took off everything in one hit. There is a little bit of oil on the drive shaft, so there must be some residue in there. Problem I've got is to get the turn around so I can show you. To get the drive shaft out, I've got to remove. There's a seal there. Sorry, yeah, seal on that side there, which is protecting a swivel joint. I need to leave that seal out, and then I should be able to take the whole lot out this way. Guys, bright. I've put some quite big windows in. They're only plastic, but it's warming this shed up a treat. But God, sweating. Anyway, so yeah, a bit of a wrestling match, and every time I referred to the book, it sends you refer to this chapter, then refer to that chapter, and it's just, oh Jesus. Yeah, there's probably a logic to why they do it that way, but anyway, going to clear a bit of bench space, hoik it up on there, and take that bit about. Well, I've got basically split the axle casing and took off everything in one hit. There is a little bit of oil on the drive shaft, so there must be some residue in there. Problem I've got is to get the turn around so I can show you. To get the drive shaft out, I've got to remove. There's a seal there. Sorry, yeah, seal on that side there, which is protecting a swivel joint. I need to leave that seal out, and then I should be able to take the whole lot out this way. Guys, bright. I've put some quite big windows in. They're only plastic, but it's warming this shed up a treat. But God, sweating. Anyway, so yeah, a bit of a wrestling match, and every time I referred to the book, it sends you refer to this chapter, then refer to that chapter, and it's just, oh Jesus. Yeah, there's probably a logic to why they do it that way, but Anyway, going to clear a bit of bench space, hoik it up on there, and take that bit about. Well, I've got both ends out now, stripped off. Splines and the drive shafts are good. There's a negligible amount of play in that diff. Yeah, in that universal joint, but I need to check it properly. That race is looking a bit tired, a bit at it. That one's foobarred, so we've got to take those off, clean the shafts up. Bearings out the hubs in the back there, and the races out of this side. They'll be all replaced. The skirts are perished, so I'll replace them. What I'm slightly concerned about is, now I'm no expert, but I think that's a needle bearing, and I can't find one on either of them, so I'm wondering where that's come out of. My gut feel is it's the opposite face to this one, so that's the taper, and then in there a little needle bearing, I thought, but maybe not, so I don't know. The other option is it's from further up, so I don't know. I can't be sure where it's fell out from, because it was just a pile of shit in the bottom, and I thought, oh, that's a bit crunchy. So I've got to have a look on the book of destructions. Might have a look in the Land Rover one as well, because that's a bit more detailed. But yeah. So this is the universal joint out the side, which had got the bust needle bearings inside. And I don't know whether you can see the little black caps that run over the needle bearings. So maybe that's a later version, because there's no play in it at all. There's very slight play in the other one. So it looks as if this one's failed and been replaced. That's my best guess, and they've not even bothered to clean the old needles out. Just doing a bit of a degrease, and might even give it a sight of a bit of paint. Somebody's been in here, but I think they've had a new one of those on. But none of the locking tabs have folded back. They've all been pushed back flat, and they're not lifted again. Let's hope they put them in with a bit of Loctite. Anyway, slowly degreasing, and away we go. So I'm just on the final stages of building up the front axle. So we've got new bearings throughout, new seals throughout, new swivels and seals. One of the things you have to do is you have to set the tension across the pivot pins. And to do it, you have to torque that down to a given setting, which is 50 to 65 foot-pounds. And then using a spring balance, which is a rare thing around these areas. I had to borrow this from a chap about 500 yards down the road. And it's the initial pull. So we're looking at, I think, under 5 kilos, which is on the inside scale, before it starts to move. That's moving now. So that's about 3.5 to 5 kilos. So I think I've got just under 4 on this side and just over 4 on that side. I could bugger about and get them matched, but it's not necessary. It's got quite a broad tolerance. This one was too tight and that one was too loose. And it's I think it's a 5 thou shim made the difference. Anyway, so next job's pack these seals up with grease on the inside, tap them in, then fit that over the top, and then we've got to fit the gaiters on over the top of that, which I've still got to treat. And we're at the same stage with this one as we are then. I can drive in the drive shafts and fit the hubs. So we're making progress, albeit slow. I can't put the gaiters on until I've treated the leather with some Vaseline or petroleum jelly or something else, and I've got nothing suitable. I've run out of grease and I've come to fit the I've got the drive axles in, and I've come to fit the stub axle, and that's supposed to be a sealing face against the seal, and it's shite. And then I've had a look at the other one and it's crap. What happens is the axle oil comes out, seeps under there, spreads over here, and then it's all over your brakes. So that's a ring apparently. You drill it and chisel it off and then fit a new one. So I'm going to go and order a couple of those. And while I'm at it, these are the screws which fit into the back here, and go nudge against those. Now I can get a better image. Where are we? That bit there, it's supposed to be a straight face, so I might order a couple of them as well. They'll only be a couple of quid. Now the steering stops. Nice and sunny, huh?